Mary, I have a confession. Yesterday, I sat looking at my phone for 10 minutes, sweating, just trying to call the dentist. I ended up hanging up before they even answered.
Oh, Bruno, you aren't alone. Making appointments over the phone gives so many language learners anxiety.
It's true. You can't see their face, they talk so fast, and what if they say they're completely full?
Don't worry, we've got you covered. In today's episode, we're unlocking the exact phrases you need to comfortably book any appointment, handle schedule changes, and sound perfectly natural doing it. Let's conquer that phone dread.
Welcome back to the B&M English Podcast. I'm Mary.
And I'm Bruno. Today, we're diving into a topic that hits close to home for me, and I'm sure for a lot of you listening, making an appointment over the phone.
Yes, and you know, Bruno, it's completely normal to feel a bit nervous. When you can't see the other person's body language or facial expressions, you lose a lot of context clues. Plus, the person working at the reception desk is often multitasking and speaking quite fast.
That's exactly it. You feel this pressure to understand everything immediately, and my mind just goes blank. Like yesterday, I wanted to say I want an appointment on Tuesday, but it felt, too aggressive?
You actually have a good instinct there. Saying "I want" can sound a bit too direct in English when you're making a request. We usually prefer softer, more polite structures to get the ball rolling.
Right, because you're asking for their time, not demanding it.
Precisely. So in this episode, we're going to break down exactly how to initiate that call smoothly, how to negotiate a time if they're super busy, and how to make sure you've got the correct details written down before you hang up. By the end of this chat, you'll be ready to dial that number with zero hesitation.
Man, I need this. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's start with the first hurdle, actually making the initial request. Bruno, earlier you mentioned saying, "I want an appointment." Why do you think that sounds a bit off to native speakers?
Well, I guess it feels a little bit like a command, like I'm ordering food at a fast food drive-thru.
Exactly. It's grammatically correct, but socially, it can come across as demanding. Instead of "I want," we rely on softer phrases. The classic one is, "I'd like to book an appointment, please." Or even better, "Do you have any openings on?"
Openings. So do you have any openings on Tuesday?
Perfect. An opening just means an available time slot. Now, let's do a mini role play so you can test it out. I'll be the receptionist at the dental clinic, and you're calling in. Ready?
Ready. Ring, ring.
Good morning, Bright Smile Dental. How can I help you today?
Hi, good morning. I'd like to make an appointment for a checkup. Do you have any openings this Thursday?
Let me check the schedule. I'm sorry, we're fully booked on Thursday.
Oof, fully booked. That means completely full, right? No spots left?
Spot on. Fully booked or completely booked means there are 0 time slots. Now, here is a common mistake learners make when they hear that. They usually say, "Oh, okay, goodbye," and hang up.
Hey, don't call me out like that. That's literally what I used to do because I didn't know what to say next.
It happens all the time, but instead of giving up, you can ask the receptionist to find another space. A great natural verb phrase to use here is to squeeze someone in.
Squeeze someone in? Like pressing juice?
Sort of. It means to fit someone into a very tight or busy schedule. So you could ask, "Is there any chance you could squeeze me in this week?" Or, "What's your earliest available slot?"
Ooh, I like that. So I could say, I see. Is there any way you could squeeze me in on Friday instead?
Beautifully done. That shows you're flexible, and it prompts the receptionist to look for minor gaps in their day to help you out. So, once you've asked if they can squeeze you in, what usually happens next is a bit of back and forth negotiation. This is where people start overthinking, especially if the receptionist offers a time that doesn't quite work.
Right, because you don't want to sound rude by saying, "No, I don't like that time."
Exactly. A great phrase to accept a time slot is simply, "That works for me," or "That suits me perfectly."
That works for me. I use that all the time. But what if it doesn't work? Say they offer Thursday at 10 a.m., but I have a meeting at work?
You can say, I have a conflict then. Do you have anything in the afternoon instead? Or simply, I'm afraid I'm tied up then. Is there any chance we could do later in the week?
Exactly. It just means you're busy or occupied. Let's practice that. I'll give you a slot that isn't ideal and you try turning it down politely.
Got it. Let's try.
Well, Bruno, I have an open slot with Dr. Evans on Friday at 8 a.m. Would that work for you?
8 a.m. is a bit tough for me. I'm usually tied up with morning commute. Do you have anything later in the afternoon? Maybe around 2 p.m.?
Let's see. I don't have 2 p.m., but I can pencil you in for 3:30 p.m. How does that sound?
Wait, pencil you in? What does that mean? Are they writing with an actual pencil?
Historically, yes. To pencil someone in means to make a tentative or preliminary appointment, something that isn't 100% set in stone yet or can be easily changed if needed. Nowadays, receptionists use it to mean they are entering your name into the schedule, but it implies a flexible or soft booking before it's final.
Ah, nice. So when she says, I can pencil you in for 3:30 p.m., I can say, 3:30 p.m. works great for me. Let me pencil that down too. Wait, can I say pencil that down?
Subtle mistake there. Good try, but we say write that down or note that down. The phrase pencil in is almost always used for putting a person or an event into a schedule. So you'd say, great, let me note that down.
Got it. Note that down. Prepositions and small verbs always catch me off guard.
Okay, so you've survived the back and forth, found a time that works, and you're almost ready to hang up. But Bruno, there's one final hurdle that makes people panic right at the end.
Oh, let me guess. Spelling your name over the phone?
Exactly. People speak so fast, and letters like B and V or M and N sound almost identical over a sketchy phone connection. Man, every time I spell Bruno, people hear Pruno or Brunu. What's the secret to making sure they get it right without sounding confused? You don't need to know the official military NATO alphabet. Just use simple, everyday words to clarify. You can say, that's B as in boy, R as in red, U as in umbrella, N as in November, O as in orange, B as in boy. That makes so much sense. So if I want to clarify a letter, I just say letter as in word? Precisely. Another huge mistake learners make at this stage is just saying, okay, bye, and abruptly hanging up as soon as the receptionist says okay. Guilty again. Once I get the slot, I just want to escape the phone call. I know the feeling. But to sound polished, you always want to double check and do a quick wrap up. You can say, just to double check, that's Friday the 14th at 3:30 p.m. with Dr. Evans? Just to double check. That gives both of us a second to confirm everything is correct. Right! And once they say yes, that's correct, you lock it in with a polite closing phrase like, great, thanks for your help. See you then. Or, I appreciate your help. Have a great day. That sounds so smooth. Let's do a quick full wrap-up practice, from the double check to the goodbye. All right. So, Bruno, I've penciled you in for 3:30 p.m. this Friday. Perfect. Just to double check, that's Friday at 3:30 p.m. with Dr. Evans at the main clinic? Yes, that's correct. Wonderful. My last name is Silva. That's S as in Sam, I as in ice, L as in lemon, V as in Victor, A as in apple. Got it, Mr. Silva. We'll see you on Friday. Thanks so much for your help. Have a great afternoon. Bye. Flawless, Bruno. Look at that. Zero sweating, zero panic. Wow, having those anchor phrases makes a massive difference. I actually feel ready to make that dental call now.
Before we wrap up today's episode, let's do a quick lightning summary of the key phrases we covered so you can store them in your mind.
Sounds good.
First, instead of I want an appointment, try asking, do you have any openings on?
And if they're completely full, ask,
Is there any chance you could squeeze me in?
When agreeing to a suggested time, say, "That works for me." If you're busy, you can say, "I'm afraid I'm tied up then."
To lock in a tentative spot, they might pencil you in. And don't forget to note that down.
Finally, before hanging up, double-check the details using "just to double-check" that's date at time, and spell out tricky letters using B as in boy.
Now for our speaking challenge of the day. Here's your task. Imagine you need to call a clinic to book a slot for this Thursday afternoon. Practice saying this phrase out loud right now. "Hi, do you have any openings this Thursday afternoon? If not, could you squeeze me in on Friday?" Try saying it out loud 2 or 3 times until it feels totally natural.
Give it a shot. Speaking out loud is the best way to build muscle memory and phone confidence.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this with a friend who gets phone anxiety.
Thanks for tuning in to the B&M English Podcast. Happy practicing, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.